Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. Thanks for joining me. Tomorrow I go to Milan in Italy to Esxence, Europe's largest fragrance fair. I'm going to be around hundreds of people, thousands of fragrances, so I need to take some fragrances that are going to make me stand out. I've picked some that I'm taking that I believe are 10 out of 10 fragrances that will stand out above all others. Here they are. Always love going to Esxence, such a great time, but the thing is, there's a lot of competition for standing out with your fragrance. Everyone who goes is a fragrance lover, so they're probably wearing their favorite amazing 10 out of 10 fragrance. And also there are so many smells within the fair itself that if you want to get noticed, if you want to stand out, then you've got to pick a fragrance that is going to rise up above all others. And if you're not going to do that, then why bother wearing a fragrance at all? So for this trip, I always try and take pretty strong fragrances. I always take fragrances that I love and fragrances that make me feel great and make me feel confident. So here are the ones I'm taking. The first fragrance is from a brand that I love, and to be honest, it was a difficult choice which one to take because there are so many good ones. From Renier Parfums, this is Kisses Rain. It kicks off with a cool, spicy cardamom, but this one is built around almond, a beautiful almond note with coffee, oud, creamy sandalwood, and even a little hint of rose in there. Let me tell you, this is some serious stuff. It's a really strong fragrance, and it's got that kind of scent profile that is sweet and really addictive. I'm addicted to myself when I'm wearing this fragrance. It's a really dense fragrance, it lasts a long time, it projects massively. It's a gorgeous, sweet, gourmand, dessert-like fragrance. Kind of smells a little bit like a bakery. There's a bit of sort of almond tart pastry thing going on, but it is far from sickly sweet. This fragrance never becomes cloying. It is always a pleasure to wear from start to finish, and it's pretty sexy. This is a really smooth, deep, rich, gorgeous, sensual fragrance, and I just can't get enough of it. I think this is going to stand out amongst a lot of other fragrances. It's the type of DNA that I think is pretty unique, so another reason why it's going to stand out. And you know what? If no one else smells this on me, because there's so many fragrances around, there's so much competition, everyone vying for their fragrance to get noticed at booths and people wearing them. If it's only me that smells this, I am happy with that because I love this so much. I cannot wait to wear this in Italy. Oh, and gentle reminder, if you're in the UK and you're interested in Renier Parfums, my website Luxe Parfum is the only one that exclusively stocks Renier stuff in the UK. The next one is from one of my favorite niche brands. This is my most recent pickup from this one, and if you've seen previous videos over the last few weeks, you'll know how much I'm loving this. From Parfums de Marly, it's Althair. This is a creamy, sweet, very rich and indulgent sort of fragrance. Warm spices, vanilla, praline, and almond. Bit of an almond theme going on so far with the fragrance choices, but I think this is the last one that contains almond. When I opened this, it blew me away. I didn't expect it. I knew it was going to be nice because I had smelled it. I remember enjoying it, but I was smelling lots of other things at the time. But when I bought this and I opened it, I was so glad I pulled the trigger on it. It is such a beautiful fragrance. It's got like a smoky woods to it. Reminded me of Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace, had that smokiness, not to the same degree, but a bit of that, but throw in some creamy vanilla, the indulgent praline, and there's a bit of a hint of orange, so like a creamy orange. Oh, everything about this fragrance is so good, including the performance. I'm taking this because it's a huge fragrance. Parfums de Marly do this sort of sweet fragrance so well because they're always so heavy and dense and rich and muscular and robust, and it's that sort of fragrance that I want to take with me to Italy. Big fan of this one from Marly, and I can't wait to wear it in the cool February air of Milan. Firepower in the fragrance is definitely an important factor for me when choosing which ones to wear at Esxence, and one that certainly packs some awesome firepower is Purpose 50 from Amouage. This is the exceptional extrait version of the already fantastic Purpose. It's a high concentration, but it also changes the scent profile, so it is a completely different fragrance. All the firepower, all the strength from this fragrance is coming from frankincense. There's a high dose of frankincense. If you're not a frankincense lover in fragrances, do those people even exist? You probably won't enjoy this because it seems to be built around that. There's obviously other things going on as well. There's woods, there's vanilla, also got a nice little bit of spice to it. I'm bringing this because, as we find is the case with a lot of Amouage fragrances, this is big, bold, confident perfumery. Not big and bold in an obnoxious way that it's going to get on people's nerves. No, this is big in a beautiful, luxurious Middle Eastern scent kind of way. I'm really loving this and I really want to wear it around lots of people just to gauge some opinions, find out what people think of it. So Purpose 50 is coming to Italy. The next one I'm taking is another extrait, and I would say this is probably even more powerful than Amouage's Purpose 50, which is saying something. From Argos Fragrances, it's Triumph of Bacchus Extrait. Nice, crisp, juicy, fruity opening with some green apple. There's boozy rum, lots of wood, creamy sandalwood, tobacco and vanilla. The original Triumph of Bacchus is a pretty strong fragrance. This extrait version, for me, doesn't change the scent profile that much. It just makes it more potent, stronger, more concentrated. So this is definitely a beast mode fragrance, which is just the kind of thing I'm looking for. I often hear this getting compared to Parfums de Marly's Carlisle, Mancera's Red Tobacco, as if those three fragrances are essentially the same thing. I have Carlisle and I find it pretty different. If you were to get me to do a side-by-side blind sniffing, I would have no problem detecting them, because I just think that they're different scent DNAs. Yeah, there's crossover and similarities, but to me they don't smell similar enough to lump them together. Again, it's big, it's bold, it's sweet, it's addictive. This is certainly a fragrance that stands out above all others. If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store, luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands, plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description. I've got another Parfums de Marly. Now I know it's going to be pretty cool in Milan in February, but I want a freshie. And if you want a freshie for the cold weather, you need a great performing freshie. A freshie that is more elevated and stronger than most other fresh fragrances. So it's Percival. Some of the notes in this are lavender, mandarin, violet, jasmine, cinnamon, musks and fir. I will never forget the first time I wore this fragrance. I walked into a house where there was a gathering of people. I'd been in there for 2 minutes and this one lady said to me, "You smell amazing." I love that fragrance, and that sums this scent up really, because it's strong, it gets noticed, it's not complicated. Some people say it smells quite designer-ish. I think by that they mean that it has that sort of mass appealing DNA, but this one, because it's a Marly fragrance, it smells better quality, it smells higher quality, it smells luxurious, it lasts longer, it smells stronger. So it takes all the positive attributes of a really good designer fragrance, but then it adds fantastic performance, it adds some quality and luxury to it, and I've always loved this fragrance right from the first spray, as did the lady who smelled it on me. And from that moment, when you get such a big compliment, you know, we don't get that many compliments really, but when someone tells you to your face that they absolutely love what you're wearing and that you smell great, that definitely cements a bit of positivity around a scent. So if you want to wear a fresh fragrance, if you want to stand out a bit, if you don't want your freshie to get lost in the shuffle of all the other fragrances out there, then Percival is a good option. There is a party going on in Milan that I've been invited to, and the theme of the party is black and gold. So I've got a few black and gold garments lined up to wear for the party, but I also need to wear an appropriate fragrance. I want something that is strong, something that's impactful, something that I think's a 10 out of 10, something that I love, and of course it has to come in a black and gold bottle. The one that ticks all those boxes is Lamar Noir from Kajal. As with the original Lamar that came in the gold bottle, this one is also based around rose. I enjoyed the original Lamar. I do think it maybe went a little towards the feminine side of things with the rose, but this one definitely does not. This is a huge rose oud fragrance, and yeah, that's a popular combination. It's a popular smell that we're used to, but this does something different. There's a bit of an ashy smokiness, which I love. It gives some attitude to that rose oud scent profile, but there's also leather, which deepens it even more, makes it more muscular and robust, and also brings some attitude. So it's a rose oud and then some. It smells more masculine than the original Lamar. It's a powerhouse. It comes in a black and gold bottle. It's a statement making fragrance. I think it's going to be perfect for a party, perfect for the clothes that I've got lined up to wear for that party. I cannot wait to put on Lamar Noir. The final fragrance is one that always comes to Milan. It pretty much goes everywhere with me at this point. This is the closest thing I have to a signature scent at the moment, from Amouage Reflection 45. Takes that scent profile of the original Reflection Man, that creamy sandalwood and white florals, but it adds something else. There's more incense, there's more depth, there's a little earthiness, and I think it's got more attitude. I will never forget the first time I wore this fragrance in public was one evening while I was in Milan visiting Esxence a few years ago. I have never had so many people compliment me or mention my fragrance in one evening as I did wearing this. So I came home and I immediately bought a bottle. This is pricey stuff, but I loved it that much for myself, but also evidently other people around me loved it as well. I thought it was worth pulling the trigger. I did that. I have thoroughly enjoyed wearing this over the last couple of years to the point where it's almost down, last few drops. I've worn this so much. If I wasn't collecting fragrances, if I wasn't getting scent fragrances, if I wasn't buying so many because of this YouTube channel, I would be very happy only having this fragrance because it does everything for me. It's one of those versatile, fantastic fragrances that I can wear all through the year, any occasion, any situation. It's gonna work every single time. I also feel a real affinity with this scent profile. I think because there are similarities to the original Lamar that was a bit stronger, a bit more animalic, a bit more potent and impactful than the Lamar we get these days. And this sort of takes me back to that feeling I remember experiencing and loving so much wearing that stronger original version of Lamar. So it brings me back to that, but it's a different smell. It's a better smell even than that. I feel like it really suits me, which is why this could easily be my signature scent. I don't like going anywhere without it, so I am definitely taking this with me to Milan. Got to be done. It's tradition now at this point. Those are the fragrances I'm taking with me. If you've got any experience with these, I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. There's maybe some that you haven't experienced, and if I've introduced them to you in this video, then I hope you've discovered something new that's worth a sniff. I think these are all amazing 10 out of 10 fragrances. I can't wait to go and wear them in Milan. If you liked the video, if you found it useful, give it a like, it really helps. If you want to see some content from Milan, then make sure you subscribe because hopefully I'm going to shoot a bit of stuff out there for you. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you on the other side of Italy. Ciao.